Hey guys, we're here with another video. This is a 650 Holley double pumper. We're gonna tear this down and rebuild it. And we're gonna explain again to all the different circuits and how to clean them in this rebuild. In other words, how to go through and make sure all the little circuits are clean and how they function and where they basically how to clean it for a rebuild is what I'm trying to get at. All right, so let's start real quick by. I think this is already loose. It is. I done started on this thing and then I stopped because I thought it'd make a good video. So we're going to go ahead and pull the bowls off. This is a 4777, which is a 650 double pumper. It's an older style, so I think second generation. It's got the, you can look right there, it's got the old brass floats in it. This is something right here you want to look for right off the bat. Is when they backfire, they'll crease this top in here, and sometimes they'll even bind against the back of the bowl. So you want to make sure this isn't creased, so a backfire will actually just compress it. So the actual nitro-filled floats are actually the stronger ones, and they'll actually take a little more backfiring and things like that happening to it without damaging it like the brass. I like the old brass float days. All right, now we're going to go to the metering block. We want to make sure our bowl vent is not obstructed, that we can see through it, and we want to look at the jets, make sure they're not all stopped up. The power valve. And let me get the power valve out. Let me go ahead and get this gasket. This is the right gasket. This carburetor's been a problem ever since the guy had it rebuilt. And it's got some problems. I'm going to show you. Alright, now these two holes right here are the ones. These are the ones that actually restrict the fuel from the power valve. In other words, the power valve pulls the fuel in, then it exits into the main well through these two little holes. These are very small because it's such a small carburetor. It's a 650. It's not a 750, 850. This gets bigger with the size of the CFM. All right, now we know we got all this looks good right now, but we're going to blow through every one of these holes. I'm going to show you the emulsions side of it, what it does, and we're going to look at the idle circuit. Just make sure everything's clean, because it's real important to get these things clean, because you can take them apart, spray them off, and if there's something still stopped up, you'll have the same problem you started with. All right, let's do the rear. All right. All right, again, we look at the float, and the float, it's not creased, it's not kind of compressed up against the back of the float bowl housing. Now we got the right gasket on there. Here we go. Here's a problem right here. The front and the secondary side of a double pumper is going to be the same gasket. Do you see what's wrong with that? This gasket is cut out here where it should be, just like this one, where it just seals up the pump. This is where your pump shock comes out. It comes right back into here. In other words, gasket sets here, and it seals everything off from this part of the metering block to that. They put the wrong gasket in here. This is one that takes a transfer tube. This gasket here is cut out here because it takes a transfer tube that shoves in here, and then it compresses back into the meter block. It's a different style Holley. There's a problem. So we wouldn't get no secondary accelerator pump shot. All right, now this one's blocked off, so it don't have a rear power valve. So all we're using is our main jets and our accelerator pump, dual accelerator pump. Let me go ahead and take the gasket off here. All right. Now, first thing we want to do is we want to get our, let me grab these. Should have been a little more prepared, but let me grab the little bug on that. That's the wrong one. I need to grab my gauge pins. This is what I use. You can do the same thing with spray or carburetor cleaner to check and see if the circuit's going all the way through. In other words, you know for sure it's open. But with carburetor cleaner, you need to have your gloves on and eyewear to keep it from getting in your eyes, because that stuff's bad for you. Now, generally speaking, your two on the inside of your air bleeds are the smaller ones. They're going to be anywhere from about 25 to probably 35. They vary. You just have to kind of feel around and see where you're at. But I'm going to stick a actual bleed through there. That's pretty snug right there. And I'm going to do it to both of them to make sure that I don't have something open here. Okay. Now I'm going to use a bigger one for the idle circuit. They're usually pretty good size. I don't know if this one's quite this, but yeah, it is. Just clean through there. Just clean through that hole right there. I'm in it. Now, we want to do the same thing here. We want to make sure that we ain't got no obstruction in there. And then we'll blow through them with air, or either we can use some spray, one or the other, to make sure they're clean. They've got to be open, guys. If those little bleeds on the outside there for your idle circuit, if they're closed, it'll make it run rich, because it won't be pulling no air. It'll be just pulling fuel. And the same thing on your main well, right here on your high-speed air bleeds. Okay. Now, we know that the idle circuit, we know it actually starts off with the air bleed. It's drawing air in here, and it's coming out right here. And then on the same circuit right here with the metering block up against that, you got air being drawn down with fuel here. The fuel comes out the little bleed right here, and we need to check it too. We need to put something in there and make sure everything's open, because all it takes is a little clog. And then here's the two little restrictors for the idle circuit. So we want to go in there and make sure they're clean. There ain't no restriction. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to blow through them. And then that's where the actual fuel comes from the main well right here, same place where your jet is. It comes through here and into that orifice, that fixed idle fuel restrictor. Then it draws it up through here and down to the transfer slot. And then with this adjustment, which this isn't the primary, this is secondary, but it will jump across here with the idle mixture adjustment. Now, it don't do that on the secondary. I'm showing you the secondary one, which let me show it to you in the primary. But it will jump, it will come through the same spot, right through the main well. It'll go into the restrictor, jump up here. It's got a patch. It comes up here, comes out, and the air bleed's coming in from the top of the carburetor right here at the same time. And vacuum is being drawn down here, so it's drawing fuel and air in at the same time. Now, if you wanted to lean this system, think about what's happening here. You're drawing air and fuel in here, so you could actually take this restrictor out and change it, or bring the restrictor up here to a smaller one that's changeable. And you can also do the same thing with the air bleed up here. You know, if you've got adjustable air bleeds, you put less air in it, richer. You go bigger on the actual idle bleed. You put more air in it, and the more air, the less fuel you draw in. So you can lean your idle circuit that way. You can richen it, whatever you need. But then it jumps down here and to the transfer slot, and then across here to the actual idle circuit on the Holley, which this idle mixture screw, it controls it, because it actually cuts off this part right in between these two holes, the transfer slot and idle. So it's letting so much of this transfer slot fuel come on over to the idle circuit to idle. All right. Now, when we blow through all these, I mean, I take out all, you're going to see, I take out all the mixture screws, and I blow through every bit of this. I'll make sure there's air coming out of every one of these ports and everything's clear. And then I'll blow back through here after I do the gauge pins, and I'll make sure it's coming out this orifice here. And then I'll blow from right across here into the main well, which is the jet. And you'll feel it coming out the jet. You'll feel it coming out where the jet goes up to feed the booster. You'll feel it. And you'll feel a little bit out of the power valve too. So this is all part of main thing you're after, other than if you need to repair something, is first of all, you got to get it clean. If it's not clean, you're wasting your time. If any of these little holes here for the emulsion tube are stopped up, it will not run right because it's not getting enough air in there to emulsify with the fuel. So it's pulling more richness. It's not getting air into with the gasoline. So all of it's got to be clean. And then if we need to modify something, we modify it. But we need to make sure, first of all, it's spotless. I can't go over that enough. I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't go over enough about how it's got to be clean. Here's the idle circuit. Like I say, here's the transfer slot. And then it jumps across with the metering block to this hole here. And then it comes out right here. This is actually the idle feed. This right here beside it, which is hard to see.
I haven't got an angle on it.
Yeah, can you see it there now?
No, so tilt it down. There you go.
This is the transfer slot right here. Right here. And we know about the transfer slot. I've been over that about how you don't want it too far open. So that's important. But this one hole feeds the transfer slot. This one here feeds the actual idle circuit. And gives that adjustability with the needle, the mixture needle. And we need to look at our accelerator pump nozzles. Look at them. And don't always go by this number. It should be that number, but a lot of times people drill these out. So this is where you need to get a set of these gauge pins. You really need them. Without these, you're just kind of guessing at what you got. Because I've seen a lot of these, a whole pile of them. Everybody drills them. Most people drill them instead of try to find the right one. Here's the primary. That was a 28. This is a 28. They're both 28. So they're the same. Now this is where a lot of people, they'll say, man, I'm not getting no pump shot, out of my squirters. And that little old check right there, front and back, is so bad about sticking. It'll get a little corrosion in there and sticking. It will not let no fuel come out. The fuel, when you accelerate, move the throttle, it moves this pump arm down, squirts the fuel, and it comes out here. But it has to lift that weight up. It's a check and a weight. It lifts it up, squirts on out the squirters, and then when you let off the gas, the check valve closes and holds the fuel there where it won't have to fill that cavity again. So it's very important. Some of them, like I say, a stick, some of them won't. Those wasn't stuck, but it had the wrong gasket in the back, so it wasn't getting no rear accelerator pump. These are just straight leg boosters. These are just typical boosters for a Holley, older style. And all right, what we're going to do, I do want to let you look at everything real quick. Let me get these and show you the pump real quick, and then we're gonna go to a part 2 tomorrow night. I'm gonna clean this thing up, get it all ready to put together, and then we'll go from there. And we've got a different type of screw in it. I don't know if somebody stripped that bowl or not. We'll see when we get it out. Sometimes they'll over tighten and strip the bowl, and then they'll end up putting a little longer screw. You can only go a little bit different, or either a different type of thread. Let's see if that screw tightens up. Yeah, still good. We'll put the right screw back in it. Now guys, this is a 30cc pump diaphragm. The old 50cc is about twice that deep, a little over twice. This is the ball check real quick for the pump. The actual fuel flows through here, that little hole, And then the check lets it draw, you know, the fuel in, feed the bowl, and then when you squirt it out, it pushes the ball check up and checks the system where it has to push it out to the nozzles, the accelerator pump nozzles. Now the carburetor I want to show you. I should have had my bowl set up. I'll show you that tomorrow night on the different type of accelerator pump bowls we have, because there's two different ways. And the one that has the little red flapper valve, it's like a check valve, is actually the best. It's better than these because these corrode and they only got one hole to feed the pump, where the other ones have two holes. The one with the little red or orange looking flapper valve has two holes. And that's, to me, that's just better all the way around. That screw felt like it almost pulled the threads out. It might be good. These are both the old style here. Tomorrow night, we're going to go into part 2. This is just a teardown. And somebody tried to dig this tube out of here. See I'm going to put another metering block in there because it's almost impossible to get those idle tubes out of there. But anyway, tomorrow night we'll go ahead and finish up. I'm going to get it cleaned up. Then I'm going to explain some things to you about the accelerator pump. And just little advantages, disadvantages, everything. Then we'll go into getting all the circuit clean, showing where we blow through it and make sure it's all good. And we'll start again tomorrow night, guys. Hey, please like, comment, and subscribe. We need to keep this channel going, and I really need people to subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you.